I'm out here on one of my favorite local lakes, Grand Lake near Duluth, Minnesota. Had a big fish kill about 6 years ago, and this is the first time I've come since then in the summer to fish, just to get a gauge to see what's going on. And you know, if that's the kind of bass that's in here, then this lake's recovering really well. That's exciting. Good time! Yeah! So we have a few hours to spend out fishing this afternoon on a beautiful day. It's mid to upper 70s. It's the dead middle of summer, at least for us here in Minnesota. And I'm gonna go to a lake that is just 15 minutes from my house. And I literally haven't fished this lake for 6 summers because back in 2014, it had a major fish kill and killed a lot of fish in that lake. Now, some fish did survive, but it's been taking a while for that lake to recover. And I think 6 years later, it's time to go check it out and see if it's had a decent recovery. I've ice fished this lake the past 2 winters, and so I know that the crappies are starting to come back, but I haven't really hit this lake hard yet for bluegills and bass. And so that's what we're gonna do today. We're gonna just pitch around, pitch docks, pitch into reeds. This is a clear spring-fed shallow lake. More than half the lake is less than 4 feet, so it gets a lot of weeds in it. And that's what happens in the wintertime is as the ice thickens and the snow deepens on it, less light gets down into the weeds, and so all the weeds die. And when the weeds die, they eat up oxygen, and eating up that oxygen is what ends up killing the fish for a fish kill. And that happens on this lake, so I'm told, every 10 to 15 years. And like I said, we had an awful winter back in 2014, really cold with a lot of snow, created the conditions just right to kill a lot of fish in this lake. I'm looking forward to it though. This was my favorite lake to fish before that happened. The largemouth bass in it were just like perfect 16, 17, 18 inchers with your occasional 20 plus largemouth size. Bluegills were just primed to get in the 10-inch range. They're 9, 9.5. And so I was disappointed when the fish kill happened, but that's how it goes. Can't control that. And I'm looking forward to seeing where everything is at today. So let's get out there in the water and see what we can find. Here we go. Not too bad, but still small. Nope. Ooh. The shades are fun. You know, I mean, this is a 6 to 7 inch class. It's probably going to take another 3 years for them to get to that 8-inch mark, but they're here, and they're here in numbers. That's promising. I like that. Also keeping my eyes out for bass to see if they're roaming some of these shallows. The water temps are still pretty warm. At least shallow here, it's 79, 80 degrees. Definitely in a smaller class of gills here. wacky worm. Pitching around these reeds. I was at another set of reeds where I actually had a bass on my, good sized bass too, on my bluegill rig. So it looks like that there is some bass hanging out in these reeds here with the bluegills. It's not surprising. And the only problem with this wacky worm is the bluegills will hit it too. So I'll get lots of tugs on it, pulling on the tail. Just need that nice good thump. Because I'm only in like 3-4 feet of water, I'm going fairly weightless. All it is just the 4-inch worm on a hook. So it just, you know, floats really. It just sinks really slowly, and you know, it's really clear water, so it's not hard to see. See if we can't get a bass to smack it. Let's get a bass in the boat. The old tequila worm. Caught my biggest bass ever on this worm down in North Carolina. Big 10-pounder. Of course, that's what I say it is, but it was a big bass. I had nothing to weigh it, nothing to measure it. It was in a friend of mine's pond. No pictures. You'll just have to take my word for it that I caught one that big on this worm. Got some good bass in here roaming in these reeds, sight fishing. All I did was put this worm right in front of him and he went for it. Now that's a good bass. That's a good largie. Yeah. Oh, nice. Just using the old wacky worm. Good times, yeah! It's all of 16 inches, baby. Let's get some more. He's not a big boy, but there's a couple of smaller bass down there. Come on. Oh. It's amazing that these things can even come close to a hook in the mouth. Where'd the bass go? There he is. They're just hanging out with these bluegills here. Come on, bass. No, I want the bass. Oh, there's a bigger one. Maybe he just looks bigger because of the bluegills. They're not going for it. There we go. Oh yeah, that's exciting. Pitching for him. Oh yeah. Come on. No, don't wrap up in my you stinker. So I transitioned a little bit, not a monster, you know, we're just looking at a good 12-13 inch largemouth. Just super clear water, having a lot of fun watching the fish. You know, with these $5 polarized glasses I got at Walmart, I can see in the water really good. And I've never actually fished this way. I'm just sight fishing in the reeds or along docks, and waiting till I see a bass, and here's a really big one right now by us. And just pitching it in front of their nose and trying to get them to hit, and they're usually hitting it. So let's see if we can get some more. Let's see if I can get this big one. I gotta get untangled first. Oh. There we go. Oh, man. It's exciting to watch them. It's almost as exciting as topwater. It really is. There we go. Oh, yeah. I'm trying to keep him out of the weeds. There he goes, into the weeds. Come on. Come on. I think this is the bigger one of the bunch. Yeah, it's definitely bigger than the last one. Come on out of there. There we go. Yeah. Oh, that's so much fun. It's a good one. So I'd say Grand Lake is pretty healthy. I'm seeing lots of fish swimming around. The bluegill size class isn't quite in that 8-inch range that I like to see it, but there's a lot of 6-7 inchers out there, so we're only a couple years away from that. And I'll tell you what, this isn't the biggest one I've seen. I've seen some bigger ones than this, and this is another 16-incher. You know, that's what we were getting 6 years ago before that fish kill, and that's really encouraging and super exciting to see these healthy, nice and healthy largies in this lake. That's fun. Fun, fun, fun. He took my worm. See if we can find some more. Here we go. Oh, nice. Yeah. Oh my goodness, that was awesome. Come on, Mama, get in here now. Now it's all wrapped up in the reeds. Oh, it came off. Oh. Oh, that was gonna be an 18-pluser. Holy smokes, that was fun. Just sight fishing in these reeds. Saw her swimming around, got the worm right in front of her, and she went for it. Oh, jeez. That scared me half to death. Jumped out from under the dock. Turn around. Very aggressive. See if we can get him to bite again, because I don't think he got it. There we go. Yeah. I think we got a good hook set on this one. Amazing. Oh yeah. Yeah. Pitching the docks. Again, it's like hunting. I've been doing the reeds and finding them in the reeds, and then I decided to switch gears a little bit and try the docks and see if they're in there, and they sure are. You know, we're 79, 80 degree water, so it's really warm, but these bass love that warm water. And it's like hunting, you know? I'm waiting until I see them and pitching to them and just using this weightless worm in this really shallow water. And it's working out great. I mean, I'm missing a couple, but not enough to worry about. So it was a great day on the water, and you can see I got a little sun even though I tried to cover my face all day. I was really pleased with how the day went. For 6 years of not having been on this lake, not too much has changed. I was a little disappointed in the size of the bluegill, but there's a lot of bluegill in there. So I'm optimistic that in 2-3 years, we'll have a good bluegill class again in this lake. And then the bass were fantastic. I learned a little bit myself about bass fishing. I actually was hunting today, which I've never really done. You know, it's a lot like fishing for bass when they're on their beds. You're just meandering through, just looking for them, and I had the polarized glasses to be able to see them. And I mentioned it in the video, but I'll say it again. I only spent $5 for those glasses, and those polarized glasses can make a huge difference, especially when you're fishing like I was fishing today. So it was just a little tequila worm. You know, those worms aren't very expensive, and just a long shank hook because it was clear water and shallow water. I didn't really need to worry about a weight, and it was all about just pitching it and getting it right in front of those bass, and they cooperated, and I had a blast. I really enjoyed today's episode. I hope you did too. Be sure to take a kid out with you next time when you're out fishing and help them learn to enjoy the great outdoors. And remember, there's always a fish biting somewhere. All you gotta do is go out and find them. The equipment you have is almost always enough. So until next time, get out there and go fishing. I'm Nathaniel, just your ordinary fisherman. Thanks for joining me today. God bless, and tight lines. All right, Nathan, this ending is just for you. What kind of music should you listen to when you go fishing? Something catchy. Why do fish swim in schools? 'Cause they can't walk. I mean, be sure to subscribe to the channel. Thanks for watching. Go catch some fish.